Sajith eyes UNP leadership as Lucky-Ruwan holds secret talks. SJB to make sure of defeat for questionable characters. Namal's funny talk about the corrupt. Probe underway into 10 major frauds.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Sajith eyes UNP leadership as Lucky-Ruwan holds secret talks. With the presidential polls just over, new President Anura Kumara Dissanayake dissolved Parliament on Tuesday night and fixed general elections for November 14th. Nominations will be accepted between the 4th and 11th of October. The new Parliament will have its inaugural session on November 21st. Dissolution of Parliament was a campaign promise by AKD. With the election loss, the camps of both Ranil Wickremesinghe and Sajith Premadasa are in crisis. Ranil has already said he would not set foot on the election stage again. It is a timely decision by the National People's Power to call a general election with its opposing forces now scattered and disoriented. It is very unlikely that any extension alliance against it will be formed. Groups that supported Ranil are now having clashes amongst themselves. He has no intention of entering Parliament from the national list at least, and says he will mediate in forming an alliance only. So, leaders of the parties that supported him are in a big fix. Anyway, secret talks are ongoing between the United National Party and the Samagijana Balawagaya as per a decision taken at the UNP Management Committee. But Sajith's camp is opposed to the team Ranil is sending for the discussions, saying they won't have anything to do with Ravi K. Wajira, Sagala, Harin and Manusha. They seem to be fine with Ruwan and Akila. On Monday night that came up at talks held at the Flower Road office. Ranil, Ruwan, Wajira, Thalatha and Sagala were in attendance. Since Lucky has been named from the SJB, it has been decided to send Ruwan as their emissary. The two had talks on Tuesday evening, with some businessmen facilitating it. It is said Sagala too joined in later on, but an agreement was deferred until today afternoon. In the meantime, SJB MPs, district and electoral organisers decided in Colombo on the 24th that Sajith would lead their general election campaign as the prime ministerial candidate. After the meeting, Sajith told journalists that he strongly rejected decisions taken at closed-door meetings. Ruling out talks with Ranil, he said they would contest as the SJB-led alliance. Reacting to the claim that victory would have been theirs had he joined with Ranil, Sajith said that would not have been a reality. He said he humbly accepted the people's verdict. Progressive persons acceptable to the people are welcome to join the SJB's alliance if they align with its policies, he said. While encouraging secret talks with the UNP, Sajith has deployed some of his men to ridicule his former party. Ex-MP Ashok Abesinghe, among them, asks that after having polled 4.5 million votes, why they should return to Sirikotha, which had gained lesser votes. At the same time, there is a campaign to form an extensive alliance by making Sajith the UNP leader. Dayasiri says Ranil should make way for Sajith in order for the two parties to ally, and that mere talks would be meaningless. As such, the upcoming talks between Lucky and Ruwan are unlikely to succeed, and an understanding between Sajith and Ranil can be ruled out. A WhatsApp group post says their egos make the UNP suffer. With Ranil now out of contention, Sajith should become stronger. With both the SLPP and the SJB having candidates popular in the rural areas, they could give it a fight at the general election. If the two abandon their egos, both of them and the county will win, says the post. SJB to make sure of defeat for questionable characters. As reported by the leader the other day, the SJB is having strong reservations against its MPs who had dealings with Ranil during the election. They are said to be numbering around 20. Certain media loyal to Sajith reports that the list of MPs who struck deals with Ranil and received decentralised funds, bar permits, and sold them for millions will be exposed. The economic experts trio, mainly Harsha and Kabir too, are not spared either. That surfaced at an electoral organisers' meeting of Kotter on the 24th that took place at Harsha's Nawala office. It started after Harsha announced the SJB would ally with the UNP to contest the general election. Numbering around 125, all of the participants started shouting at him. They blamed him for having struck deals with Ranil and caused Sajith's defeat. He said there would be no deals with Ranil and talks are with Ruwan only, but they rejected it too, saying they fell to third place in Kotta due to such deals. That one got alarmed, announced the meeting was over and fled to the upper floor in an attempt to escape them. So, Sajith has decided not to give nominations to anyone who has been found to have had dealings with Ranil. He is favouring politically stable persons who are in the good books of the public. Even if anyone with a questionable character is given nominations, the plan is to make sure that he or she gets defeated. Among the favoured lot is his private secretary, Ravi Jayawardena, who will contest from Kalutara, along with a young doctor. New faces are to be included in the nomination lists for Gampaha, Colombo and Kagale too. Having learnt bitter lessons from Harin, Manusha, Diana and Thalatha, he makes plans now not to fall prey to the machinations of the likes of Ajith P. Pereira. Namal's funny talk about the corrupt. Leaders of other parties too are having talks on what to do at the general election. Sarvajana Balaya has ruled out joining any alliance with Ranil. Gamini Walaboda says people won't accept anyone who associates with Ranil. He should go home now like JR had done. Ranil has destroyed the strongest of the parties, adds Walaboda. It is said that Wirawansa and Gamanpila are having talks with Tiran on a possible alliance for the parliamentary polls. Also, Dilith Jayawira, who contested for the presidency under the Communist Party of Sri Lanka's star symbol, plans to contest the upcoming election under his own MJP's airplane symbol. Already, a social media campaign has been arranged to promote him as the prime ministerial candidate. What will the SLPP do? Mahinda says they will not go for any alliance with Ranil. He was speaking to the media after a Politburo meeting at Nelam Mawatha. Namal says the SLPP is in this plight due to its decision to make Ranil the president. According to Basil, their left-leaning votes had all gone to the NPP. In the meantime, Namal says a very funny thing. He says the SLPP will not accept back anyone with corruption accusations and gone to support Ranil. He told some media figures that many have sought a return to the party. Namal claims the SLPP to be free of any corrupt or fraudulent persons now. Needing Namal to attack Ranil, Sajith didn't make any references on election stage to the wrongdoings of the Rajapaksas. Since the Rajapaksa regime ministers were with him, even Ranil refrained from attacking the Rajapaksas. But some who voted for AKD now doubt if his criticisms of the Rajapaksas would now be in vain. With the election loss, Lanka and Amarawira of the Chair Party, as well as those in the Trophy Party, are in a quandary. Hopes are now dashed for their contesting the general election under the Trophy symbol. They are most concerned by Ranil's decision not to contest elections again. On the 24th, they had a meeting at Taj Samudra Hotel, but failed to reach a consensus on how to contest. They were due to meet again later in the day after having separate meetings. That was to follow with talks with Ranil. Wajira promised them a word in the afternoon on the following day, after Ruwan meets Lucky. It is more likely that the SJB will contest under Sajith and the UNP fields candidates under the elephant symbol. The decision by the chair and trophy groups will be known in a matter of days. Probe underway into 10 major frauds. According to NPP sources, Public Security Secretary Ravi Seneviratne is now investigating 10 major frauds committed during the previous regimes, including Ranil's. AKD, as well as his supporters, have been saying they would punish the swindlers. So a lot of things are bound to happen soon. That's it for today.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළ ගැස්ම